Hey guys, Sabri Subi here, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you about killing the little bitch inside. Now, there's very strong words, I know, but basically, everybody has this little bitch living inside of them. And, really that's the thing that I refer to as what can be looked at is like the resistance, right? The duality of man. And that is really having, for every person, for every kind of positive action that you really want to do, or for doing things that are good for you, you're always kind of placed with this resistance, this kind of force pulling at your heels and making it difficult for you to do that. And whenever you can feel that resistance, that is the little bitch inside you. So for instance, if you're right now at the stage where when your alarm clock goes off in the morning, that you're having to hit the snooze button 4 or 5 times. That means like the little bitch has got its claws inside you and they're really in control of you, because your willpower is not strong enough for you to know that you need to get up, for instance, and you want to keep hitting that snooze button. And that's because that little bitch is like whispering in your ear, telling you like, oh look, you've been working out really hard, or you've been working so hard, just get, another 10 or 15 minutes of rest, you really deserve it. Or if you want to go to the gym, it's that same voice, right? That same resistance in your head. And this is kind of a topic that most people, they don't ever want to talk about. Like they just talk about motivation and being motivated and being highly motivated and driven. But you need to look at what is the inverse relationship with motivation. And it's really that little bitch that's inside of you that is really kind of forcing you to do things that aren't within your best interest, like skipping a day of exercise or waking up an hour earlier, or whatever it might be. It's like you can always feel that resistance, and it's something that is documented throughout like a lot of scriptures and a lot of books, and it's been something that people have spoken about for hundreds of years. Is this whole duality, right? And there's like these 2 different egos in your mind, and you really need to first of all come to terms that is the case, and you're not just this person that's completely 100% good, and that you're always able to do what you want to do, and you never need to exercise your willpower, and that you can just go ahead and do everything that's within your best interest with motivation and never feeling that resistance. Because if you're living in denial, you will never ever come to terms with that little bitch, and you'll never be able to get it under control. And if you don't get it under control, you're just always going to be swimming against the current or sailing against the wind, right? And we're always going to be doing that in any case, but you need to be aware of what those factors are and how they really play a huge part in your self-limiting beliefs, or you not doing the things that are really good for you, because you are fighting that resistance. So the first thing that you need to do is come to terms with there is this little bitch that's living inside you that you do need to get under control. So whenever you feel that resistance, you can be like, I know what's going on here. I'm going to get this thing under control. I'm not going to let this thing be the master over me, right? And then you can start to choke out this little sucker. You can start to not listen to it when it's pulling at your heels. And more importantly, you can really get even more kind of motivated and more driven by your why, and understand the factors that are in play here and the powers that be, and that whenever you're trying to go out there and do something great and get away from being average and do something that's exceptional, that you always are going to be faced by this resistance, about this gravity that is trying to get you to regress to the mean and do what is comfortable and do what is average, right? So then you're like, okay, cool. Well, I know that when I wake up in the morning at 5 o'clock and it's pitch black outside, that I am not going to want to basically go and pack my gym bag and then get in the car and then drive to the gym and then go through this grueling exercise, right? And And the moment your alarm clock goes off, that's going to be the thing that flashes through your mind. You're going to be thinking about all the effort that you're going to have to exert. And you have to go, you don't know where this thing is in, you know, where your gym shoes are, where that is, and you have to go get your protein shake. And you're going to basically be met by all this resistance, right? Because you're not architecting a situation where your defaults are going to get you the best outcome of what it is that you want. Then on top of that, you layer on this little bitch, right? That's going to be whispering in your ear, telling you that it's cold, telling you that you've been working out really hard and you don't need to push yourself, or you're on the cusp of falling sick and this is going to exert too much energy and then you're going to catch a really bad cold and all of these bad things are going to happen to you, and you just better stay under your covers and be cozy and get some more sleep, right? That's what's going to be happening. So instead, you need to know before you go to sleep that night that that's going to be happening in the morning. And that little bitch is going to rear its ugly little head and it's going to start to try to take control of you. So one, you need to think about, well, why is it that you're doing it, right? Like, why do you go and exercise? And if you don't go and exercise, how are you going to feel for the rest of the day? Are you going to be feeling guilty and shit that you didn't go and exercise? And is your energy going to be real low? And then is your sleep going to suffer the next night as a result of not doing anything that's physically intensive that day before, right? And you're going to start mounting and putting all of the pros for you doing this uncomfortable thing, and they are going to start to outweigh and really just quieten that little voice in your head, the resistance, right? Then on top of that, then what's something else that you can do to architect a situation where the resistance is nowhere near as strong to the pros of doing what it is that you're trying to do, right? To get you the best outcome. Then what you want to do is pack your gym bag the day before, right? And have that all packed for you, and have your gym shoes waiting, and everything is all in there, and your lunch and your protein shake, and there's nothing that you need to go and find or nothing that you need to do. So then when you wake up in the morning and brush your teeth and you're just ready to go, like everything's all there, there's no resistance, you're trying to stack the deck in your favor and make that situation as easy as possible to say yes to, right? Because what most people do is they just go to bed and they don't do all of that stuff. And then they wonder why that they're skipping every second day. Or they wonder why they need to hit snooze 5 or 10 times because they've gotten on like this whirlpool of like YouTube videos, and they've been sucked down this whirlpool and they've gone into this like YouTube vortex, and they've just been watching mindless shit until like 11 p.m. at night, right? Or they've gone on this Netflix binge and it's just constantly playing the next episode, and they're not engineering a situation where they're getting to bed early enough that they can tap that little bitch out in the morning when you go to hit that snooze button. You're well rested enough, you don't need to do all those things, right? And this is something that you do not want to leave by chance. This is something that you need to be very aware of, that is present in all of us for everything that we want to do. It's not just in that very cut and dry example of going to the gym. It can be you're just starting your business, knowing that you need to cold call on 100 business owners in order for you to start going out there and getting clients, right? Or whatever it might be, whatever that uncomfortable action that is going to be required in order for you to walk through the fire and get the result that you want. And again, you need to set up these little stoppers, these little rituals that you do that stack the deck in your favor, and architect a situation where your default position is a place that you are going to win, and it's easy for you to walk through the fire and do these actions. Or it's not easy, but it's easier to walk through them, and your day supports that through your rituals. And it might be that you, before going to have lunch, you need to make 60 dials before lunchtime. This is how I used to do it when I started my business. And it's just like, you know, you go to the gym, you do the things that you need to do, and then as soon as 8:30 comes around, you just start dialing, and you've got to get to 60 dials before lunchtime. So then after you've had lunch and, you know, you finish up lunch at 1 p.m. and you're going to be working till 6 or 6:30 or whatever it might be, you know that you've got time to get those other 40 dials that you need to do, right? And again, these are just examples. I can't think of every single different example that you've got in your life right now, but basically whenever there's an outcome that is worth fighting for, that is going to require a lot of effort, a lot of inputs in order to get the output that you want, there is going to be mounting resistance from the little bitch inside you that is telling you not to do all the things that you want to do. And all I can tell you is you need to create frameworks and rituals and things that you're going to do to basically quieten that voice out and put you in a position that you're going to win. And then the other thing that I want to talk to you about is just combating that from the get-go, right? So first of all, you know, when that little bitch has got its claws in you and pulling you down towards the average and what's comfortable and keeping you away from really realizing your potential, the other flip side to that is what you really want to be thinking about is why is it that you're going to do that action, that you're facing resistance again? What kind of outcome are you trying to achieve, right? Where is the promised land? Where are you trying to go? Then you really want to get visceral with what that is going to feel like once you arrive in that destination and get that result that you're fighting so hard for. And you really want to make that extremely visceral. What does it smell like? What does it taste like? How does it feel? What is that emotion that you feel like if you would have attained that outcome that you're fighting for so hard? Then most people will stop just there, and that's with the whole power of visualization and feeling really good about it. But then you want to take it one step further, and you want to think about what is going to be the consequences if you do not get that outcome. How are you going to suffer as a result of that? How are you going to feel? What is that negative feeling going to feel like for you? What is going to be the byproducts as a result that's going to eventuate as a result of you not getting that? You know, how's that going to affect other people in your life? How's that going to affect your partner? How's that going to affect your peers or your siblings that look up to you or look to you for guidance if you're not able to realize your potential and get to where it is that you want to go? And then just stop and be in that state of feeling that pain and that discomfort. And it's really where that pain and that discomfort meets your ambition in those two different accesses, right in the center of that. That is the spot that sets your soul on fire, right? And that is the point where you completely block out the noise and silence and gag that little bitch in your head, and you're in control. And you can put that force to other uses and actually get that to align that force with yourself and what the outcomes are that you're trying to achieve. And every once in a while, that voice is going to rear its ugly head and it's going to try to pull you back towards being average and being mediocre. And what you want to do is, again, just reflect on the result, the destination, where you're trying to go. If you don't get that, the pain and all of the byproducts that's going to result as a result of you not getting that outcome that you want, and find that center point, get aligned, really get clear on where it is that you're trying to go, and keep that little bitch in check and let it know who is the master and who is ultimately going to win this battle and this conflict and this resistance, and that you are really an uncontrollable force of nature that is going to go out regardless of what that voice is saying inside of your head, and you're going to go and get everything that it is that you're fighting for, and you're going to stack the deck in your favor. So when you feel that resistance, you can acknowledge it, you can be aware of it, and you can get it in check, and you can go out there and get whatever it is that you're striving for to get right now in your life. So I hope that helps you. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure that you click the like button and subscribe. We're dropping a video on YouTube every other day. And if you've got any questions about any of the content that I covered in this video, just basically leave a comment with hashtag HeySabri in the comment section. And every week we're also trying to go through all those questions and get them answered. So go ahead, click subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.